A very good evening and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And we are taking a look on what's happening in the nation of Zimbabwe without fear, without favor. ZANU PF President Emerson Mnangagwa is called for an urgent Politburo meeting, which is scheduled for the 26th of March 2025. And these are the new developments. This is what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe at this point in time. And we are looking at this new development. And this has been posted by Farai Marapira, who is the Director of Information in ZANU PF. He says the Secretary General of ZANU PF, Comrade Dr. Obet Mpofu, wishes to advise all members of a Politburo meeting on Wednesday, 26th March 2025 at 10:00 hours and the Central Committee meeting on Thursday, 27th March 2025 at 10:00 hours. Members are advised to be seated by 9:45 sharp. So this is what is happening. Two meetings, one after the other. Number one is the Politburo meeting. The next day, Central Committee meeting. And remember, these two meetings are coming at a very critical point where factional battles in the ZANU PF, they've caused a lot of divisions and they've caused a lot of devastation in that political organization. So this is the letter right here, which was issued by ZANU PF, and it announces these two meetings on the 26th as well as the 27th. The reason why they moved it to 26 and 27, I'm told that they did so such that people can move from different areas and different places tomorrow. They will be able to move and they will be there. They will be gathered right there in Harare in preparation for this meeting. And key issues are that people are speculating that we are likely going to see some shakings happening in the government, which means by weekend, the probability that you could see a mass reshuffle happening, they are very, very high. So the Politburo, which is coming, is likely going to bring new appointments either to the Politburo or it is likely going to come up with a lot of shakings, a lot of people being discarded from the party, and others probably being recalled from even parliament or from their positions. So a lot is happening at this point in time. ZANU PF is not stable. ZANU PF is shaking. And we have asked so many questions. What is it that the war veterans have asked for? The war veterans are asking for a better economy. They are asking for better welfare. They are asking for, especially Comrade Geza, they are actually fighting such that the 2030 agenda stops. So this is what's happening in ZANU PF. And the major question is, will Mnangagwa survive? So that questions can be answered with the time. And as soon as 31 arrives, the people will be able to understand. As for now, we have seen that what is happening is there is a lot of presence of the police in the city centers. We have seen police almost everywhere. Everywhere. We have seen the police vachita madrills, vachimhanya. Hatisi kunzwisisa kuti what is the purpose of those activities, because ZANU PF inenge ichite zvinhu zvakarongeka, and vachiti zvinhu zvakarongeka kudaro ndopatichiona mapurisa achideployiwa vachimhanya vachiita sei. Saka you know, it can't be just a coincidence kuti they simply deploy police everywhere vachifamba mucity center vachiita sei. I've talked to a lot of people who believe kuti vari kuzviitira kuti vambotyisa vanhu. So we do not know if that is true, but the possibility is so high that it might be an issue of panicking. So whatever which is happening, we need to continue to fight for change. We need to continue to speak. When you look at the key demands of the war veterans, they are demanding compensation. I do not know for how many times now. Kunana 2000 utakambonzwa wapiwa ma 50,000, and now they are also demanding compensation. So they are also demanding healthcare and also medical assistance. That is another area. They are actually demanding also recognition and respect. So they need access to land, and also they need employment for their children, and also economic support, maybe through projects. They need an improved welfare and also social services. And major thing is that the war veterans want political influence and the political representation. So those are the key issues which have been raised by the war veterans. And also on major issues, they need transparency, they need accountability, and they also need protection from exploitation. So the war veterans have been angered that whilst they carry wounds of the liberation struggle, Emmerson Mnangagwa is paying white farmers. So that is something which is very, very important. And we have asked the question to say, will Mnangagwa dare fire VP Chiwenga? That is a very, very important question which a lot of people have asked. And answers are very difficult to find at this point in time, because each one of them would want to try to maintain political neutrality. But what we have understood is that Chiwenga is politically powerful and influential within ZANU PF. He's a very, very important figure. He's a key figure in ZANU PF. So he is the one who brought Emmerson Mnangagwa after he removed Robert Mugabe successfully, with the support of the military as well as the support of the people who went into the streets. So the role of the military is unquestionable. We have seen the military's role in the during the Gukura Wundi, where they went to make the people of Matabeleland submit to a one-party state which was created by Robert Mugabe. We saw how brutal that thing was. And then we move on to 2008. We saw the military denying Morgan Tsvangirai a chance to lead Zimbabwe, and they participated in that event 100%. Then we go to the years like 2017, where we saw also the military stepping in to stop the faction of G40, which had politically outmaneuvered the faction of Emmerson Mnangagwa. So they had to step in to correct what they called a mess. So right now we have returned back to that era. Why? It's because the involvement of the military in politics will never resolve the political problems, but its involvement will worsen the political problems and the situation only. So when you look at factionalism within ZANU PF, there have been very, very important factions for a very long time. We have a faction, Yana Mujuru. We are talking of recent factions, Gamatoks. They were fired. They didn't fight back. They didn't have military support. We have a faction of Lacoste and G40. Lacoste had failed politically, but was brought by the military. We now have a faction of people who are fighting for change, or to stop 2030 agenda, a faction which is believed to be linked to Vice President Chiwenga, and also a faction believed to be linked to President Mnangagwa. So these are the factions we now have. And it seems as if the faction belonging to VP Chiwenga is more powerful because it does have the backing of ordinary people. Even those who don't believe in ZANU PF politics, they've backed this faction. So in terms of political calculations, Mnangagwa is worried about the public perception, which means it becomes very difficult for him to fire General Chiwenga, because if he does so, it's most likely that he's going to anger people, and the 31 March will be more than a success. So Chiwenga remains a popular figure within ZANU PF, and he has gained the sympathy from the people for his stance against corruption and against Gananda. So that is a plus for him. And President Mnangagwa has failed to deal with Gananda, has failed to deal with corruption, And also, the situation has been worsened by Team Tungwarara, who are going about giving handouts, hampers to just a few individuals, while the majority of the people continue to wallow in abject poverty. So that has angered the majority of the people, and that is likely going to give Chiwenga more mileage, which makes it very difficult for him to be fired at this point in time. But remember, General Chiwenga does not hold a good record, because when he became the health minister, it was a disaster. They underfunded the health minister, probably deliberately, in preparation to fight him, like what we are seeing right now. So that is the one of the records of VP Chiwenga at this point in time. And we have also seen what happened around when he was defense minister soon after the elections of 2018, when people were shot. The commission of inquiry, which was set up by Mnangagwa, wanted to pinpoint Chiwenga as the mastermind behind the shootings which happened in Harare. And given that the Presidential Guard Commander, Anselm Sanyatwe, was the commander of the forces who shot people into the streets, and is believed also to be aligned to VP Chiwenga, it also puts a dent on the history of VP Chiwenga. We go back to 2008, where he was Commander Defense Forces. That is also another dent. But let us take a look onto the timing and other external factors. When you look at the broader political environment, the economic situation, the international relations, you can actually see that it's very difficult for Mnangagwa to make a move on General Chiwenga, because internationally, General Chiwenga might be accepted more than Emmerson Mnangagwa, given a stance which he recently took, especially in China. General Chiwenga is likely to be supported more by China. We've seen the relations between Zimbabwe and the British people going down. There is a possibility that General Chiwenga might receive support from the USA as well as Britain. So Mnangagwa will have to get more support from South Africa and Russia. Then we look at the issues of the economy, the economic situation. Key business people in Zimbabwe would rather have business with Vice President Chiwenga. He was credited for licensing Starlink, Paangari acting president, when Zvigananda wanted to take advantage and control the whole thing. We are being told that he got the opportunity and pushed the licensing of Starlink. Businesses have credited him, saying that if he's given a chance, probably he might do better than the one Aripo. So ZANU, but they are saying he might be disciplined in terms of being a military man. He might be more disciplined than ava vakagara nguva refu vachipinda-pinda panyaya dzisina kumira zvakanaka. So those are some of the issues right there. So at this point in time, no one knows what the senior opposition leaders think. At this point in time, all eyes are on President Chamisa. So that is another thing which a lot of people fear. They believe kuti Chamisa anogona kubeka whatever which might happen more achirerekera kusaidi rina Chiwenga kana pakada need. Hear me well, kana pakada need. I'm not saying he will. Talk about analysis dziri kuitika. So because of that, it then makes it difficult for Mnangagwa to fire Chiwenga. And also, remember, when the military stepped in, Mnangagwa was fired in 2017. So by firing General Chiwenga, he might justify the military stepping in to come with another restore legacy. So that is another point, very, very important. So this is it, and we'll continue to watch and see whatever which is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. Let us meet in other episodes as well as other broadcasts. So